Cows, carbon, and the myth of fake meat. Why regenerative grazing deserves net zero status. By Dan Blackburn for carnivorecard.com, July 2025. What if everything you've been told about cows and climate change is only half the story? What if those methane-belching animals grazing in a pasture are not the environmental villains they're made out to be, but unsung climate allies? In this deep dive, we'll unpack the myth of fake meat, the manipulation of climate data, the overlooked truth of soil carbon, and how cows, when part of a properly managed ecosystem, can help reverse environmental damage. Not metaphorically, literally. Section 1. The soil beneath our feet, the real carbon sink. Regenerative grazing isn't a fringe theory. It's a field-tested approach backed by soil science, real-world outcomes, and centuries of traditional knowledge. In contrast to industrial agriculture, which depletes topsoil, regenerative grazing builds it. Key fact. Studies show regenerative grazing can sequester up to 3 to 8 tons of carbon per hectare per year. Why it matters. Soil carbon sequestration is nature's method of drawing down atmospheric CO2, not just offsetting emissions, but reversing them. By stimulating deep root growth through rotational grazing, cows enable perennial grasses to act as living carbon pumps, burying CO2 deep underground. These ecosystems become carbon negative, locking away more carbon than they emit. Section 2. Yellow is the new green. Why fields of rapeseed are floral graveyards. To the casual observer, a bright yellow field of rapeseed looks like paradise for pollinators. In truth, it's a trap. These monocultures bloom briefly, offering only one type of nectar for a short time. The rest of the year? Nothing. Worse, they're often laced with systemic pesticides like neonicotinoids, known to disrupt bees' navigation and kill larvae. Key insight. A field of rapeseed may buzz with bees for a few days, then turn into a toxic desert. No forage, no cover, and high exposure to poisons. Section 3. The misleading maths of fake meat. You've heard it. Plant-based burgers produce fewer emissions than beef. But these numbers come from spreadsheet calculations, not from living systems. Reality check. Most comparisons are made against industrial feedlot beef, not regenerative systems. Fake meat footprint. Beyond's own life cycle analysis shows emissions from monoculture soy, intensive processing, freezing, packaging, and then cooking again. The LCAs rarely account for soil carbon loss from tillage, agrochemical pollution, transportation emissions, energy used in ultra-processing. Meanwhile, regenerative beef sequesters carbon. It rebuilds ecosystems. The accounting trick is pretending a lab burger's emissions end at the factory gate. Section 4. Methane, the demon gas that isn't. Methane is potent but temporary. While CO2 remains in the atmosphere for centuries, methane breaks down in about 12 years. Biogenic versus fossil. Cattle methane cycle through the atmosphere. It comes from grass, not oil. Stabilized herds equals no net warming. If ruminant populations remain constant, methane doesn't accumulate, it cycles. The panic over cow burps ignores biology. What's worse, this panic is used to justify centralized fake food systems controlled by billionaires, not farmers. Section 5. Economic and ethical myths. What about feeding the world? The industrial food model is broken. It produces waste, 30 to 40% of food globally. It incentivizes overpopulation by displacing small farmers. It fuels monoculture land grabs in the global south. It makes food a financial asset, not nourishment. Argument: fake meat is scalable. Counter: so is soil destruction, habitat collapse, and diabetes from ultra-processed food. Section 6. Rethinking subsidies. Stop taxing life, start supporting it. If we want to reach net zero, why penalize nature and reward synthetic labs? Policy proposal: redirect subsidies from row crops, corn, soy, to regenerative grazing. Pay farmers for carbon sequestration and biodiversity. Certify carbon-negative beef as net zero or better. Stop treating animal agriculture as a liability. It's an asset. This would be cheaper, healthier, and more scalable than carbon markets and fake protein startups. Section 7. Humans are not herbivores. The final ethical layer: humans are not rabbits. We are trophic omnivores who evolved to hunt, harvest nutrient-dense organs, thrive on fat and protein. Animal foods gave us our large brains. The claim that humans aren't meant to eat meat isn't just wrong, it's anti-human. Conclusion: the Green Revolution was brown. Environmentalism has been hijacked. It no longer defends ecosystems. It defends grants, carbon markets, and synthetic food patents. But the path forward is ancient. Soil, sun, ruminants, humans. Want real change? Let cows graze, let the soil breathe, and let nature do what spreadsheets can't.